After watching all of Bill's videos on YouTube, it was very apparent how meticulous a job he would do, and it's beyond my wildest expectations, so I'm glad I brought it up here, and I'm already planning on bringing up my next truck. The Gyeon products that you are certified in is going to make the difference in this.
This is a 2022 Ram 1500 Limited. It just came in the shop. It came in the shop Saturday. It's Monday now. We're going to take what we're looking at here for this Ram. It came to the shop. You can see it has Maryland plates on it right now. That's the state Maryland plates. The reason it has Maryland plates is because it came from Maryland. It came from DC. The owner saw our video, Aggressive Luxury Ram 1500, a 2022 Ram we did, and he was picking up a black Ram just like this. His Ram's a little bit different. He has the Ram box here, and he has the split gate there. So that's what's different from the other Ram that was in the video. What we're going to do here is it came in Immaculate paint protection. We are going to apply paint protection film. Paint protection film is a clear polyurethane film. It stops all the rocks and stones from chipping up the paint. So this guy's going to be driving this truck a lot. He's concerned about the steel bumper getting chipped up. So we're going to do a partial front end paint protection film. What's a partial front end? Well, partial front end is exactly what it says. It's going to cover, paint protection film is going to go right to about here, and it's going to stop. That's going to impact 80–90% of the front end of that vehicle. Is going to stop it from paint chips. So rocks, stones, embers, anything that's kicked up off the road. We're also going to be smart, and down here along the bottom, you can see these great big tires here. It has the running boards from the factory on it, but they don't really provide any protection for the lower section of the Ram here. So we're going to install what we call the rocker panels section. So we're going to put paint protection film along the bottom here, up to and into this body line. So that'll be a great protection there. We're also going to put a ceramic coating on the whole vehicle. We didn't do that on the other vehicle you saw. So ceramic coating, you put a ceramic coating on the vehicle to make it easier to wash and so it stays cleaner longer. With the ceramic coating, you're still going to have to wash the vehicle. Anybody that sells you a ceramic coating and tells you you're never going to have to wash your vehicle, well, sorry, they're not telling you the right thing. The ceramic coating is going to make the truck easier to keep clean. You're not going to be out washing it ass often, but you wash the car, truck, SUV once a month with a ceramic coating. In fact, if it's really dirty and salty and nasty, wash it every week if you have to. But when you get out there and you wash it by hand, it's going to make it a lot easier. Black vehicles like this, blacks are a little more difficult to maintain because it's less forgiving. You scratch it up, you swirl it up, it's going to be more noticeable. So we're going to bring the vehicle in. We're going to start washing it down now. We're going through a multi-step wash process. We're going to polish it up. Cut paint protection film. We got the computer in the back there. Cut the paint protection film, install the paint protection film, and then apply the ceramic coating. So we're looking 3-4 day job here. So let's get to it with this Ram. We're gonna wash it down using a 2-bucket method wash. We're gonna apply an iron decontamination step to it. So now it's a chance to get all the iron. It's on the vehicle, came over the rails, so there may be some rail dust. It's kind of got down, stuck into the clear coat. We're gonna inspect by feel if we need to clay bar anything. And dry the vehicle off, obviously rinse it off and dry it off. We're gonna do paint correction. So we're gonna hopefully because it's not washed at the dealership, the paint should be in really good shape. We're gonna go over it, we're gonna find out what we need. We'll do a test section for paint correction. We'll use a Gyeon primer and a white pad if everything goes well. If that goes well, we're gonna buff out, polish out anything above the rockers, front fenders, roof. That'll get us ready for the ceramic coating. Then we'll go in the back of the shop here. We're gonna use SunTek Reaction paint protection film. It's a 12-year film with the ceramic coating infused into it. So yeah, it's a lot of ceramic coating on this car, a lot of ceramic coating on this truck. Paint protection film with a ceramic coating, so it's almost like a 2-for-1 combo for you. 12-year warranty on that film. We'll computer cut the film. At that point, the truck will be all nice and clean. We'll get the paint protection film on. We're gonna wipe everything down. This is probably day 4 maybe at this point. Day 3 is when we'll get the paint protection film on. And then the 4th day we'll come around, we'll get the ceramic coating on. The big trick with the ceramic coating here is we want the ceramic coating to stay dry for a minimum of 24 hours after we get it on. So here we'll swing back around, back into the shop. Gonna sit in the back, put it right under the American flag there. It seems appropriate, right? Big badass truck under the American flag. So Saturday, client will take the train up from DC. He'll come up to Allentown here. We'll meet him down at the train station. We'll pick him up. We'll come show him his truck. It'll be like 100,000 times better than it does now because it's all dirty. Now we got to get to work. I'm going to build up the wash cart here. Here's the work instructions. That's how we build the cart up. We're using a 2-bucket method wash here. 2-bucket method wash just simply means 2 buckets. The red bucket's going to have just rinse water in it. The green bucket's going to have water and soap in it. We also have these grit guards in here. The grit guards help avoid getting contamination in here, any sand, grime, anything that can scratch that vehicle. We want to capture it in the water solution and not keep rubbing it on the car and making it go. So I got 2 wash mitts. We use 2 wash mitts, 2 big body wash mitts. And I used a cuff mitt because it's smaller. The cuff mitts we use along the rocker panels and door jambs. We wash that last because there's going to be more contamination along the lower section of the vehicle and in the door jambs. Just warm water there, hot warm water together. We run 2 wash mitts. That way if we drop one, and that happens occasionally, we drop it, we'll put it off to the side, and we'll bring it inside. Once it hits the ground, you never use it again. So that's a pro tip for home. Get 2 wash, get multiple wash mitts. If you ever drop anything on the ground, stop, set it off to the side, don't hit the car with it or truck. We like to use a degreasing soap here. We want to get everything stripped off this vehicle. They said that the dealer supposedly did not put anything on the vehicle, but we never know. We want the paint as clean as we possibly can get it. It's going to take a while to get the vehicle properly prepped. That's what it takes. We'll just slow down, take our time, we'll get through this together. Brush for the fender wells. Easy detail brush for inside the barrels. And the brush for the tires. This is non-acid wheel and tire McGuire's cleaner. We don't use acid in the shop. 2 different colors, we color code the chemical. So we know green is for wheel and tire there, and the white's for iron decon. Okay, so we're moving along. We have cart all set up, towels. We'll move this down, start washing the rims. Got the main wash bucket here. I'm gonna go through the instructions real quick. Cart, buckets, 2 bins. Yeah, we did that. Got the brush, we got the soap in there. We got iron, clay, foam cannons ready to go. Tire bin's good, everything's good there. All right, cool. All right, now we'll move on. Now we're gonna start the wash. We're gonna rinse it off first. We're gonna start with the wheels. The wheels and the tires, we're gonna start on the rear passenger side. We'll roll around. We'll get all the wheels and the tires washed off, cleaned off, rinsed off. We'll wipe the floor down a couple different times. Then we'll roll in, we'll do the foam cannon on the vehicle. We'll let the foam set up on the vehicle. The foam is there to kind of emulsify, encapsulate that dirt. It's gonna break up that dirt. The magic of chemistry is gonna happen. We'll rinse that off. We'll use the power washer, the new Grille 1622 TS you just saw in another video we put together. We'll use that. We'll use the force, the power of the machine to remove the heavy particles, which are dirt, debris, off the vehicle. We'll jump in, we'll use the iron decon, so that's gonna break all the iron off the vehicle. It's gonna smell like, we call the iron chemical the fart juice. So we call it fart juice because it smells like fart. So thankfully you're not here to experience that with me right now, but we'll open the door, turn the fan on, try to blow some of that out of here. After the fart juice, the iron decon's on there, it does its magic. We're gonna foam it up again, then we're safe to go into the contact method wash. So the contact method wash, that's a fancy word of saying, hey, we're gonna use the wash mitts on the vehicle. So at this point, we want the vehicle to be, let's just say 90-95% clean. So at that point, we're removing true road film, the stuff that won't be blasted off, the mud, the caked on stuff that you see. We'll get that done, we'll rinse it off, then we'll dry it off with our Jersey microfiber towels. We'll use the great big Gyeon. We use the great big Gyeon towels here. We'll throw them on the car, pull them off. Get the truck clean. We'll get the truck dry. The truck's clean, now it needs to be dried. And then we'll run around and we'll use the black door jamb and wheel towels for the wheels and for the door jambs. The reason we have black towels is because we don't want to cross-contaminate. If for some reason we pick up some dirt out of that rim or pick up a piece of sand or something out of that door jamb, we don't want to be spreading that all over the vehicle, right? So we want to isolate. If there's any potential damage, we want to isolate that to a certain area, but I doubt that that's going to happen. But this ensures extra safety step. So let's get into it. We'll get the tools down here, put them over here so you can see what's going on. Pump it up, spray it in. We use the blowers first. We start at the bottom here, go counterclockwise. That way, by starting at the bottom, always going around, we don't lose track of where we're at with this. This really nice soft brush there. Inner fender wells with that boar's hair brush. Side here, we can go find, look, find. That's what I want to find. That's the valve stem right there. Get that. Come around, get this lip here. The tire and the rim interface. That's done. Now we can go do the wheel barrels. They should be pretty easy. There's only a couple hundred miles on this truck, so it's not too bad. But we're going, we'll do it right. Get them all scrubbed out. There we go. Got that, now we're going around. We're gonna get inside here. Look at the fender well. If we have some extra coating, we'll throw up in there, and that'll make it easier to keep clean when we go forward. At this point, now we're down to the tires. I sprayed again, just because it's dried off a little bit. Then rinse it off. One more spray, and then I'm looking for a white lather. That white lather tells me rubber's clean on the wheel, so we're good there. We can like to rinse off the actual shred. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of silly because it's going to get dirty as soon as it's taken outside, but that'll blow any rocks or fines that are stuck into there, so we don't drag that all through the shop here. Another way we can just keep the shop clean, keep the floors clean. That's where we're moving throughout the processes. Okay, I think we're good with that. We just removed the license plate from the front, and we removed the license plate bracket from the front. That way we can install the PPF underneath the license plate bracket. We'll put it back on, we'll put the PPF underneath the bracket goes back on top. That way, down the road, if the owner goes to sell this vehicle and somebody doesn't want to put the front license plate on because they don't have to, they can take it off and the PPF's there for them. So we're just thinking ahead 4, 5, 6 years down the road for this vehicle. We're gonna foam can and foam soak the truck down. need to switch up and change over to the foam cannon. So we took the rinse wand off. We're gonna apply the foam cannon. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. We always, anytime we change out the nozzles here, we're always looking to make sure we fire this off. I'm pretty sure that connection was tight right through there, but if it's not, I would rather throw this off against my wall instead of throwing this off against a brand new truck. So just a little safety tip there. We want to get the truck as clean as possible, so we use the foam cannon with a degreasing soap in it. Let the foam set on the vehicle, and by doing that, it breaks up any of the heavy dirt, any of the grime. We want to get that off. Then we use the pressure washer to blast all the dirt and the grime off the truck. That way we're not grubbing on the truck. The truck wasn't washed at the dealership. The guy followed the instructions on the video, asked the dealer not to wash. They asked the dealer not to do the dealer prep on it, so we went ahead and took care of that. We used a new Krunzel 1600 TS. There's another video out there if you care to watch that, but we use that to rinse it off. Then we put an iron decon step onto it, an iron chemical to remove all the embedded iron. There wasn't too much iron, which wouldn't be expected, so the this truck is pretty much brand new, 626 miles. But we went ahead, we did iron decon on the whole vehicle. Then we rinsed that down a little bit. Then we went in, we took the brush and got around all the nooks and crannies, cleaned out all the logos, all the labels. Then we did the contact 2-bucket method wash. So we used the contact, we used nice microfiber wash mitts, scrubbed everything from top down. Then we came back and we rinsed it off. So when we rinsed it off, we really get into all the seams. And we want to blow those out really well to get all the iron decon off. Then we move the vehicle forward to the shop. Move the vehicle to the forward of the shop. That way we're able to get the floor cleaned off a little bit, clean the floor up. Dried the vehicle down, got the vehicle back in. Before we jumped in there, we went ahead and put a seat cover and a floor liner in there, and we put a cover over the steering wheel, so that way I'm pretty clean in here in the shop, but I don't want to get the guy's brand new leather in his Ram all dirty. That's his job to do, not mine. With that, we're ready to go. So now next step we're doing is we got the card out, paint correction card. I got the inspection light out. I looked the vehicle over. Paint's this is really great. They did the right thing at the dealership by not prep washing it. That's great. Ask the dealership not to prep wash it. So we're going to be able to get away with a white Rupes pad, which is the least aggressive pad possible, and our Gyeon primer. The Gyeon primer is engineered to formulate with the ceramic coating. So we'll go through 3 or 4 passes with Gyeon primer. That's going to work out perfect for the Gyeon flash coating. I don't know how late we're going to stick around tonight to get that done, but next step is to do paint correction of the vehicle. Okay, so we have the 2022 Ram. We're getting ready to select the paint protection film options. We're in Core right now. This is the software provided by SunTek, our paint protection film supplier. So we need to select 2022. It's a Ram. We like to use the patterns here at Immaculate Paint Protection. The patterns provide a better install, in our opinion. The main thing about the patterns is that the computer's cutting it, so we're not cutting on the vehicle, and then there's no disassembling the vehicle. So if you have a brand new truck, a car, that's fine. You can have it taken apart, but I wouldn't recommend that. And so right now we've pulled up the grill for the Ram. So there's 3, 6, 7 pieces. So this piece is down below. This piece is at the very top, right before the hood piece. The doors, add those because they picked the rocker panel package. So these door lowers here And then we add the rocker panels. Okay, so we're getting ready to cut the film now. I just got the material loaded up into the plotter. We're using SunTek Reaction for this ram. We got lucky. We need 183 inches and we had 184 inches on the roll. So I guess I'm living right. Things are gonna work out today. So computer's plugged in over there. We'll turn it in, it's gonna feed into the machine. Or we're gonna let it come down the table. It'll come in, come out. It's gonna CNC cut, computer numerically controlled the cut. Once we get it cut, we're gonna weed it. Weeding means that we're gonna take all the film off that we don't need and leave the pieces on that we do. So we'll start, as we weed it, you'll start to see what's on the computer come to life on the paper, on the film here with the release liner on the backing, and then we'll get it over to the vehicle. So we just got done running the film through the machine. Everything went really nice, super happy with that. Now we're gonna go through the weeding process. So I'm gonna clamp it down and start picking it out. Here's the trick with the weeding. So you can see it, it's on the table. If we're good, we're gonna make the piece on the table look like this, which means we have to go find those pieces. There, you can see the line, maybe right through there potentially. The weeding was effective because all the pieces I need to are now still on the table and they're not in the trash can, which, yeah, I know that the hard way. Sometimes you pick the wrong piece or you rip a piece and then you're back to the plotter and back to cutting again. But so anyways, this is what it looks like after it's weeded. Maybe you can make out, here is the bumper. So that's a grill, it's the grill opening, fog light opening, grill opening, partial hood here, you can see that. So the partial hood, rocker panels, and door lowers there. Now we got to mix up the soap solution, we got to get rolling on this truck, we got to get the film on, we got another vehicle coming in this afternoon. The PPF, it sticks onto the vehicle with an adhesive layer on it, so we can't dry install it. I mean, you could, it would just look terrible. So we put some distilled water, some dish soap, 7th generation, it's all natural dish soap, we put that in there, and that helps the material slip against the paint. Then we use the squeegee, we remove the water. Hopefully we get all the water out before the client comes in, and that's how we install it. Then we'll use distilled water, and then we'll use a water and alcohol mixture. That'll flush the soap out sometimes. That's where we'll get the adhesive. It doesn't react adhesive. The alcohol and distilled water solution doesn't make the adhesive react. It just flushes out the soap solution, so the adhesive will stop and will stop sliding around. It'll bite onto the film. Turn some more lights. So what we're doing right now is we're gonna turn the lights on, stand in front of the camera, make the shot pretty awesome. All right, so there is some factory installed PPF, factory installed paint protection film here. On factory installed paint protection film on this Dodge Ram, it goes from here to here. So in between here, that's because all the rock chips, this is a limited, so it has the power running boards that fold up inside, which is cool, makes the truck look super sexy going down the road. But those running boards up inside expose all this beautiful black paint to stones, embers, salt on the road. That's all gonna get kicked up by these big aggressive tires. Tires are gonna grab it, they're gonna throw it up, and it's gonna destroy all the paint. Ram knows that this area is gonna get all chewed up, so what do? They put a little piece on by the factory. So just a little warm water, patience. We're gonna pick a corner. Literally pick at a corner, and a little more water. What I'm trying to do, I just want to relax it. All right, we're gonna hopefully warm up the adhesive just a little bit. If I can get in there and get it to lift. I'm lifting it at a shallow angle so we don't damage the paint. Also, by lifting it at a shallow angle, I'm also hopefully getting more of the adhesive to stick to the PPF here. Boom, clean. There's a little spot right there, which we're gonna go throw this away. Oh, here's the piece. Here's what you want to see. That's the PPF. That's the paint protection film that's on the vehicle. Gyeon tar, there's just a tiny bit of adhesive left on there. Let it soak in there. Let it dwell in for a second. Let the chemical do the job. It's going to work for us just fine. Okay, that's clean. Maybe not. 2 more little spots. The lights are on. The lights are making us happy. Gyeon prep. Put a lot of prep on there. Get a green towel. Wipe it away. Inspect our work. Everything's good. Now we're going to put some film on. The Go-Go Juice. Wow, look at that. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty right there. Boom. Look at that. Okay, wow, that's nice. That's nice. Go, we're pulling it off. Just nice shallow angle, it's warm. There's the PPF right there from the factory. It's not that wide. Take some Gyeon tar, wipe it down, we'll be good to go. Okay, so we're trucking along here literally with the PPF. On the driver's side, I got all the rocker panels done. The ST guard got full, which was cool. More of a Tim Hortons guy, not a Tony Hortons dude on the P90X or anything like that. So core crunches would have been good to have been doing about 6 months ago. But we got through it tonight, we struggled along. But that lower rocker under the door is that there's like 3 profile steps that step in. So that's why I had to run down and do 3 long passes to get that film laid in. Each one of those steps, you get inside that corner there. I don't know if I pointed out. That's where a bunch of water can pocket in. So get it out now when it's wet. We're gonna move on to the front of the vehicle now. We'll do the partial hood. We'll jump in. We'll do the headlights, the grille, and the bumper, and the partial fenders, and we'll be out of here tonight. So let's just keep moving along. Here's a pro tip for these partial front ends. So partial front end means we're going to cover to about here. We do have a full hood coverage, which is, you know, a great idea. If you don't want to see that seam, the seam or the material ends, it's going to be noticeable, but it's not going to be super noticeable. So that just depends on how detailed or anal you are. On a truck like this, this lower flat part, probably likelihood of getting a rock chip back here, not great, but this leading edge of the truck, that's where a lot of the impact is going to happen. So you're looking around, you're looking at paint protection film installers. When you're getting a partial hood done, there's typically 2 different pattern options available. There's an 18-inch pattern and a 24-inch pattern. Typically what happens is, this is a 24-inch, right? So it's a 24-inch wide roll of material, which means if you select a 24-inch pattern, it can cut off of this roll here. So that's what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be, or there's an 18-inch roll, which 6 inches narrower, which means the pattern is not gonna cover as much material. So when people say, hey, yeah, we're gonna do a partial, well, how much of a partial are they gonna do? Typically try to run the 24-inch pattern all the time, unless for some reason, I've had guys say, no, I want the 18 in, I want the smaller option. I don't want a lot of it, which I don't understand that, but hey, you're the customer, you're paying us to do that. In my mind, if you're gonna do a partial, do the 24-inch, ask your installer what pattern he's gonna use, ask him what roll width he's gonna use for that. Now, if you're watching along, and really, it's kind of a moot point with what we're doing, because I'm running everything off of a 60-inch wide roll, so I can put that 24-inch pattern into the 60-inch roll.
So we're opening Core right now. Core is the software we use that has the database of all the computer cut PPF patterns. So if we did a full front end, there would be the hood. It shows different options available to it. But let's go down to the partial. So the partial, so we talked about the 24 versus the 18. So it says hood, parentheses 24-inch. That means we're supposed to get a 24-inch roll. So let's open up and see what this is here. And it is a sport appearance package. So we're always given the option of unwrapped versus wrapped. Just a little side note. I always select the wrapped version. As you'll see, so the sport has this cutouts right through here. And the wrapped has these little notches here. That means it's going to wrap around the fender, or not wrap around the hood. That means it's going to wrap around the hood, those little notches. Unwrapped, doesn't. That'll end right at the end of the body panel. So that's the 24-inch hood. And we're going to add that. Our bolt size will be 24-inch. There we go. So you can see, so we're changing the roll size here. So this is a 24-inch pattern. So if we change this down to an 18-inch roll, let's just go ahead and go to the cut board there. So right now it's red because an 18-inch wide roll, the pattern's obviously wider from front to back. So once we change that to 24-inch, everything's happy. So now we're 24. Let's go back to the vehicles. And let's pull up the 18-inch just so we can see for comparison's sake. So we're going to take the 18-inch hood. So you can see, obviously it looks a little bit smaller, but let's pick the wrapped. Let's add that. Okay, so now we can go to the cut board. So you can see the 18-inch pattern. The coverage would end here on the back of the hood. But if we overlay it right there, you can see that it wouldn't go as far. So the 24-inch pattern is larger, has more coverage to it. And then just for comparison's sake, for grins and giggles, let's go back to the vehicle. Let's go grab the full hood, add, go to cut board. So we'd have to pull it at 60-inch wide if we did the full hood. So full hood, maximum coverage, cover everything on the hood. Then we can do 24-inch. So partial, so we're only covering partial of the hood, so it would stop there. And then the difference between, I think, our shop and some other shops is some shops they'll sell a partial, but they won't tell you, is it 24-inch or 18-inch? Full front end, full hood, partial on 24, partial on 18, the coverage diminishes. Hopefully that's a quick explanation as to what happens or why, asking about what partial coverage you're getting.
If I was trying to run the business and trying to run these jobs as cheap as possible, so you call up and say, hey man, your price is high, I'm gonna go to the other shop, Bill. That's fine, that's cool, but just know that, to get that lower price, you may be sacrificing something that they're not telling you. They're gonna say, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a partial front end too. Oh yeah, we're gonna give you this film, oh yeah, oh yeah. So there's all these edges here, and the pattern has the option to either wrap, which means roll this edge here. So this edge right here, you'll see it. You'll see, it'll get chipped right along there. So why wouldn't we want to roll that edge? Well, we want to roll that edge because it's going to take us a little extra time. We're going to have to wait for that to dry out and then come in and get under the rubber gasket here. I think it's a better install, so that's kind of the shop policy here. If we have the option to roll that edge in there, we will. Now you will see an exposed right here in the corner. That's just impossible to wrap that material around there. I'm sure somebody out there on the internet's gonna say, oh yeah, we can wrap that. Well, I haven't seen it happen, but God bless you, go ahead, wrap that corner, watch it come up in 3, 4, 5 weeks. But we're gonna wrap as much as we possibly can on it. That's the benefit of using the patterns. Talking about PPF, one of the things that we like to talk about here is we use the patterns. We have the plotters. Plotters cost money, so we're gonna use them. The reason we're gonna use them is I really don't believe in taking vehicles apart. I'm not a body man. This is not a body shop. Vehicles are coming to us in great condition. They're brand new. This Toyota's got 71 miles on it. This is 600 miles because he came up from Washington, D.C. He doesn't want to drive it. Talking to my wife last night, we were fortunate enough, she bought a brand new Mazda. Her thought was, hey, if I took one, if she told me, if she took her car someplace and they took it apart, she would be pissed. So we're not gonna take my wife's car apart. That's not the point of the story here. The point of the story is we're not gonna take your vehicle apart unless we talk to you about it. I see no professional reason to take the vehicle apart. And typically the guys that are gonna sell you on taking the vehicle apart are gonna tell you it's custom, they're gonna tell you it's better, and they're gonna say that because they don't have a plotter. So if the guy's got a plotter and been doing it for 25 years, then yeah, maybe trust him. At that point, he's probably good because he started doing PPF way before patterns are available, way before my time. So, talk to him, see his work, talk around. But we're using the patterns tonight. We're gonna use the 24-inch. It's gonna give maximum coverage on a partial. It's not ideal. It's not gonna cover everything, but given the geometry of a truck, less susceptible to getting chips on the back. The Toyota was in here today. We hashed it over. The Toyota being a lower profile vehicle, closer to the ground, a little more aerodynamic. It's down to the ground. These trucks will be throwing rocks up. It's gonna hit, Murphy's Law says that guy's gonna get the partial on his Toyota. He's gonna drive out of here, drive home 50 miles, and pick a rock chip up, 2 inches behind where the partial ends. So I can't spend the money for him. I can't make him make the decision, but we talked it over and his decision, their decision, and they decided to go with the partial. So, talk to us. We'll help you, we'll help you figure it out. If financially it doesn't make sense for you to do the full front end, I get it. I got budgets too. I'm running the business. There's not an endless supply of money. So we're gonna help you make the right decision for you and for your vehicle. So that's the education tonight on partial 18-inch, 24-inch rolls and what we're really talking about here. So let's get back to work. Something you've probably been paying attention when I'm wiping the truck down with 2 different towels. These are my green PPF towels. These are always inspected and before we put them on the cart, but the purple towels are the ones we use for prior wipe to the ceramic coating. So we're using the Gyeon Prep wipe. Ultimately, it's awesome. We're filming this and the vehicle looks nice and shiny throughout the whole video, which is, cool for YouTube land. So, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a comment. I don't care. But wiping it down as we go. I don't want the soap in the water solution sitting on the vehicle overnight, not marring, but just either put any water spots, any minerals on it. So I want to wipe the water off. I'm going to use Gyeon Prep, and I want to use the purple towels. The purple towels are for Gyeon Prep, and those towels, we treat the purple towels, the blue towels for the coating, and the orange towels for sealing. We treat those towels like they're made of gold because those are touching the vehicle after it's been paint corrected. So you saw we put a bunch of hours into getting this black on the Ram looking really nice. The last thing you want to do is do something stupid and touch this paint with a dirty towel or a towel with some embedded foreign particle in it and then break the polisher back out, which seldom happens because we have all these processes in place. So we got a whole, come on with it. We got a whole multi-day project here in the towel bin. I'm kind of proud of the towel bin, but here's our ceramic towels. Polished towels are green, compound towels are yellow, interior towels. All right, interior towels are red. Color code makes it nice so we know what towel to use. It's documented in the book. Again, so we don't cross-contaminate everything. So let's get these pieces, we'll get them over to the other table. We'll finish the job up. front door to the shop. If you ever come to the shop, you got to drive around where we just pulled out. But we pulled the Ram over into the shade. The shade's the indirect light, so we're going to inspect it now to make sure the coating's good. Oh, there's a spot right there, bud. So we're still walking around the truck here right now, taking a look at it. There's just some of this stuff you see in a different light. That's what we're doing. It's just an extra step, but I'd rather find it than have my client find it. Hey, Spell Hearth Immaculate Paint Protection. So it's finally it's Saturday. We got the truck all wrapped up, literally got the coating done. Mr. Richard just showed up from Washington, D.C. We'll let him talk. Richard, what do you think of your truck, sir? Does it look all right?
It's a fantastic job. It was well worth the drive. After watching all of Bill's videos on YouTube, it was very apparent how meticulous a job he would do, and it's beyond my wildest expectations. So I'm glad I brought it up here, and I'm already planning on bringing up my next truck.
Well, thank you, sir. So did Immaculate Paint Protection meet all your expectations as far as quality and service? And
yeah, absolutely. It's invisible until you get right up on it. You don't even know it's there.
Perfect. Yeah. So we went with the Gyeon Flash Ceramic Coating, and we used the SunTek Reaction PPF here for you. I know you did your research. What do you think about the material choice after you've seen it now?
Perfect. I couldn't have made a better choice.
Awesome.
The Gyeon products that you are certified in is going to make the difference in this.
Yeah, fantastic. We had a great conversation about maintaining the vehicle. I know you're going to do a great job maintaining it, so we're looking forward to seeing your next one.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for coming up, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.